Yo! Are you complete buns at PvP, and you keep on dying over and over again? I guarantee you that if you watch this video repeatedly, like 6 or 7 times, you'll become significantly better at PvP. So in this video I'll show you 6 of the best PvP techniques to learn, so that you, yes you, can become better than you were before at PvP. So let's get into the video. Aight, so this technique is one that everybody should know or at least have heard of before. And it's called kentricking. So basically, what you gotta do is hold your observation hockey. And you'll have to time it at the perfect moment so that you can avoid the damage that's coming from your enemy's weapons. This can work with literally anything, sword, gun, etc. Though the timing will be different for each item that you're trying to kentrick. So for my example, I'll be trying to kentrick the CDKZ move. So when my opponent tries to throw the CDKZ move, I won't panic and use observation straight away. That's gonna ruin the timing and you're basically cooked, but I'll allow it, and wait till it reaches the end. Then I'll turn on my observation hockey and boom, no damage at all. That's just one example, it'll be different for every item in the game. I recommend you watch a fellow YouTuber Divine's videos about kentricking after you finish this video obviously. And keep in mind that some things are literally impossible to kentrick, such as the Portal Z move and Skull Guitar X move, so yeah, there's that. But now I'll show you the next PvP technique of the video. Now this technique a lot of times is used very wrongly, or is barely even used at all in PvP. And I'm talking about flash steps or flash stepping, whatever you want to call it to be honest. There are 2 main reasons to why you'd want a flash step in the first place. Firstly, you might want a flash step to avoid combos and to escape out of combos. And secondly, flash stepping can allow you to close distance and combo your opponents, or you can do the exact opposite and run away from the fight. And I see a lot of people misusing their flash steps and just flat out wasting them. And also don't make it obvious that you're about to flash step, because what happens is your ops end up predicting it and they might try to run from your combo, or try to punish your flash step and you end up getting comboed. So lock the fuck in. This kinda ties to my point earlier. But you gotta know when to cut your losses and run. Because if you stay in the fight for too long, you might just get finished off and you can say goodbye to your bounty. If you have over 4 million bounty, yeah, you are cooked. But there's 2 ways you can run from a fight that you're losing, and I'll show you what each of them are. The first way you can run is by just beelining straight out, and the second way to run is by sky camping and praying that your opponents don't hit you. If you have the portal fruit, it's even easier to get out. You can either use the V or C move and you're chilling. But once you get out of combat, that's when you want to reset character as soon as possible. A quick way to reset character on PC is just by pressing Escape, Alt and Enter. And if you're on mobile, just pray that your opponents have Stormtrooper aim. Other than that, you should be good to go. This ain't really a technique, rather it's more of a combination of multiple different techniques merged into one item. And that item that I'm talking about is the Skull Guitar Gun. Now, where do I start with this? The Z and X moves can work as stuns, combo extenders, and combo starters when used right. But what you shouldn't do is panic and use your moves on impulse. Did you know that if you hit someone with the Skull Guitar X move you can gain health back? Pretty cool, right? But anyways, back to the techniques. The Skull Guitar X move breaks and disables observation hockey, allowing you to combo the shit out of them straight after. And when your opponent gets too close to you, one of the best ways to punish them is by using the Skull Guitar X move and comboing the absolute living hell out of them. You can also use the Z move to disrupt your opponent's movement, though you'll need some good aim, and you can also use it to extend your combos. But some mistakes I see people doing with the Skull Guitar are they might use the X move way too early, and using the Z move while being within flash step range and using it too late. This technique is what I call improvising combos. When you're in a prolonged fight, a lot of the time you want to put constant pressure on your opponent. However, that also means that you won't have access to all the moves needed for your main combo due to it being on cooldown. Sometimes, when you do have all the moves you need for the combo, you try to find a good setup for the combo. You execute the combo, and you end up flopping the combo. Now you're not just gonna waste this golden opportunity. That's why improvising combos and putting constant pressure on your opponent is important. But basically, improvising a combo is basically doing some parts of a combo instead of doing the full combo, if you get what I mean, and sometimes you might have to change up the combo entirely to improvise it. This is because you gotta put as much pressure on your opponent as possible, and you should never let them fully recover. And you'll have a much higher chance of finishing them. When you're done spamming your combo, your opponent is most likely looking to counterattack, so don't give them that opportunity and try to get out safely. Which leads me on to the last technique of the video. I don't see a lot of people using this technique, and that is edging. I mean baiting your opponents, and you can also predict their playstyle judging by what fruit they are running. For example, close-range stun-abusing fruits such as Buddha and Kitsune are more likely to play aggro, while more long-range fruits like Dragon or Gravity are more likely to play passive. With this, you can try to bait your opponent into making a bad play. But there's two ways of baiting that I'm finna explain. So the first type of baiting is baiting your opponent slightly towards you, and once they are close enough to you, you snap back and combo the living heck out of them. That's the first type of baiting. The second type is baiting out their moves, especially their combo starter. Once you bait that move out, it's GG's for them, I can't lie. All you gotta do is get close, flash step, combo, and boom. But in order to bait them out, you gotta be within a close, but not too close and not too far distance from them. You should try to be just outside the reach of their combo starter. This is easier said than done, because if you mess up your cooked, fried, grill, but yeah, that's the end of the video. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment any more PvP techniques or tips you have in mind that I didn't get to cover in this video. But anyways, Floppish out.